Hi guys! So on Saturday I did a shout out for Q&A questions, anything pregnancy, parenting, blogging, vlogging, anything really. I did the shout out on Instagram, so if you don't follow me over there, I'll leave my handle thing on the screen. It's Lilypod and Sweet Pea. But I got some really lovely questions, so I'm going to try and get through them now. Jasper's sat here in a Spider-Man outfit watching Peppa Pig having breakfast, so I did try and film this yesterday with him and it just didn't work, so hopefully he's occupied. Okay, so Emily Kath N said, anything you want to do differently with this baby and anything you really want to do the same as you did with Jasper. In terms of doing things differently, I would just learn from my mistakes. With feeding, I would be more consistent. I would remember which boob I fed off of last because I didn't do that with Jasper. I got mastitis. He had tongue tie and there were other complications. If this baby has tongue tie or eczema like Jasper has, anything like that, I would push to get seen quicker from the doctors or the midwives and actually to have something done because I kind of felt like I was pushed from pillar to post a little bit with everything. Yeah, I would just follow my motherly instinct a bit more. With things like sleeping as well, I'm going to try and get him to self-settle and not fall asleep on me and get him into a routine a lot quicker because with Jasper he just didn't have a routine at all. Where I know this is going to be my last baby, I think I'm going to keep him kind of babyish for as long as possible, keeping him in little baby grows and vests and things like that rather than rushing to get him in big boy outfits, which is what I did with Jasper. And that's probably it really. And then things that I would do the same with Jasper, I would just say everything else. I was quite go with the flow with Jasper. I would take him out with me. We got out quite quickly. We started doing different clubs and baby groups and things like that. I let people have Jasper quite quickly. It was my mum to start with, just my mum, and then Pete's parents and friends and things like that. And I think that's helped Jasper to be really, really good with other people. I did baby wearing a lot with Jasper. I would do that again, starting clubs with him, just stuff like that. Okay, K_U said, what did you do when you lived in the UAE? So I lived in Dubai and I was teaching English as a foreign language at a language school, and I was working with 2 different families with children with autism. So I wasn't doing a specific ABA program or anything. It was kind of tailor-made to their children's needs, but I loved it, absolutely loved it. And she also asked, how did you meet Pete? So we met at a beach bar. It was a mutual friend's leaving do. It's called Barasti, the beach bar. And we met there and he pursued me for a while and eventually I gave in. And she also asked, what do you find the hardest thing to cope with being a stay-at-home mummy? I'd say keeping him entertained, always having something new for him to do. I mean, he's into everything, which helps. He loves being outside, so I just take him to parks and stuff, but sometimes I'll be on Pinterest and I'll be like, oh, I want to do this with him and I want to do this with him. I don't know, I guess trying to be a Pinterest mum, which is impossible, and I know I'm never going to be that mum, but yeah, I think having the mum guilt and trying to always occupy him and just make sure that he's getting the most out of every single day, and yeah, it's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, so. Miss D3BBIE, how do you fit YouTube and blogging into life with kids? At first, I would literally be on my laptop all the time, but it got to the point where Pete would come home from work and I'd be on my laptop and dinner wouldn't be done and he would just be sat watching TV by himself and I'd be on my laptop and I'd be constantly filming and I'd be getting frustrated with Jasper because he'd be playing up because I wasn't paying attention to him, and it was just a really, really bad balance and it wasn't working. And it got to the point where I thought I'm gonna need to give this all up, YouTube and blogging, not my family. But now Jasper's in nursery 2 mornings a week, Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 till 1. So that is my work time. I save the bulk of my filming till then, apart from today because I needed to get this done. The bulk of my blogging, I try and schedule loads in then, do loads of editing, things like that. Jasper also naps 2 hours a day, so I try and make the most of that time. And then social media and stuff, I'll just do if he's watching TV, if we're at the park. If he's kind of occupying himself, then I don't mind being on my phone to quickly reply to people and emails and stuff like that. You can't shut off and you can't just have 2 days a week where you do all your emails and all your social media. Yeah, so I just have dedicated times. If Pete goes out in the evening, then I'll do work, or if he's watching the football or wants to go to the pub or something. So yeah, just having a dedicated time and then just shutting off, putting the camera in my bag, just making sure that I'm really enjoying the moments with Jasper. And she also asked, where are your favourite places to go out as a family? Well, I mean, in general, we like to go to country parks, rivers, like to go feed the ducks, Anywhere outdoors really, but in Hampshire we go to Victoria Country Park. I've actually just done a blog post on it, so I'll link that below, because they've got like a little train line and the river, so we can go crabbing and throw stones in the water, and there's a duck pond there. We like to go to Netley Abbey, we go to Hamble River, just anywhere outside. Yeah, I try and avoid like soft play and indoor places and expensive places at all costs, but just country parks are our favourite. Me and Bullabue, I'm going to pronounce these really terribly. What do you do not to get Jasper and Reese jealous of the new baby? I've heard of this thing where the big kid gets a present from the newborn in hospital. Did you know that? By the way, I love your new kind of vlogging. Greetings from Germany. Oh, it's lovely to have subscribers in other countries. So to not get the boys jealous, I am planning to get the boys a present from the baby. I have heard that, and I think that's a really, really lovely idea. So we'll probably give them that when the boys come to visit us in hospital or when we get home. I also want the boys to go and choose a present from each of them for the baby. Anything they want, even if it's an awful outfit or a really annoying loud toy, something from them that they can give the baby. I don't want to kind of have the boys come and meet me and the baby in hospital. I'd rather meet them in the hallway so that we all go together to meet the new baby. Kind of, so it's not like they're coming into me and the baby's new situation. It's like we're all going to go and meet this new baby that's going to be in our family. And just reminding people when they come to visit, like, please don't forget to give Jasper lots of attention as well, and Reese, and getting them to introduce the baby, like, this is our baby brother, and yeah, just things like that. I know there are books as well that you can buy on a new baby brother, but I don't know how much that will help Jasper because he's still quite young, and Reese is used to having a little brother, so I think it should be okay. Okay, Louise Marshall 24 said, how do you start planning for a baby? We were really lucky because I have an older brother with 2 young children, and Pete's 2 older sisters both have children. So we had lots of hand-me-downs, you know, lots of people giving their opinions and advice, and obviously being a blogger, I just watched other people's videos and like top newborn product videos and different blog posts. Spider-Man, can you sit down and have your breakfast, please? No. Okay. The internet, ask people, you know, if you see a product that a friend's got, say, you know, would you recommend getting that? Everyone's different, I know, and there are products that people recommended to me that I never used, and there are ones that people didn't recommend and I never thought I'd use and I end up using all the time. So yeah, it's just a case of trial and error. You can always take things back, you can always sell things. Yeah, you got to keep your pants on because you're a big boy now. He likes to be naked. Yeah, I would just say ask for people's advice. If people have things that they can lend you, like stuff they're not using anymore, then try them for a little while first. But just remember, kids, they don't need a lot. They could live in a cardboard box, well, sleep in a cardboard box. But at the same time, if it is your first baby, or even if it's not your first baby, if you want to go out and buy loads of stuff, just do it, because it's so easy for people to say like, oh, you're going over the top, you don't need all of that. But if you want to, then do it. I just think, just go for it. Do whatever you want. The Yarn Music said, how do you find being a stepmom? I have a 4-year-old stepson who I love to pieces and we're very close, but sometimes the situation can be hard and emotional. How do you cope with it? It's something that's definitely got more difficult over time. I mean, Reese is amazing. He's so well behaved, although he is going through the like 3-nager stage at the moment. When he was little, he would always come to me more than Pete, and we had a really, really good bond. We still have a good bond now, but he's a daddy's boy, which is natural, it's gonna happen. So we have had the odd moments recently where he said, you're not mummy, you're Jess. Not like, you're not my mum, you can't tell me what to do, but I'll say, oh, show mama, what have you got? And he'll go, you're not mama. Oh, and it breaks my heart. Or there'll be times when Pete will say, oh, wait here a minute, Reese, and then I'll come in the room and say, oh, Reese, can you come here? And he'll go, what did daddy say? And kind of give me a bit of attitude. I'd just be like, oh, because you just haven't had to deal with anything like it. There you go, look, Peppa Pig's gonna be on. So stuff like that I find a little bit difficult, and especially because I'm pregnant and I'm hormonal and I have Jasper to deal with, and quite often Jasper will copy some of Reese's behaviours, and admittedly there are times when I just think, oh my goodness, why am I doing this? Why am I putting extra like stress on myself? But then the amazing times where he says, I love you mama, I love you so much, and I see him playing with Jasper and Jasper learning from him, and I see how content and happy Pete is when he's here at the weekends, and yeah, it just feels right when he's here. But I know exactly what you mean. It is hard to cope sometimes. It's very difficult, especially when you want to treat them equally, and it's that difficulty of like, do I you know, can I tell him off because he's not actually my son? Or, you know, even though I have been part of his life since he was 6 months old, and, you know, if I tell him off but Pete doesn't agree with what I've said, then sometimes I feel like saying, oh, I won't bother then. And then I think, no, I'm in this. Like, I'm here for the good and I'm here for the bad. And yeah, it's a tricky one, but I did a whole video on being a stepmom, and I'll probably do an updated one now that Reese is a lot older, so I'll link the original one below. So it's gotten really, really long. I'm going to cut it short here, and then I'll upload the second part of it tomorrow because, yeah, it's already gotten really, really long. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for part 2.